AEW. I know we got some news and rumors we want to talk about. We're going to kind of get through this card a little bit. I'm going to get your 1-2, and we're going to go from there. But, man, so to start off tonight, so, of course, we had a Reigns Rollins recap from last week. Then we had the Usos in the ring, and they acknowledged Roman Reigns' 508-day reign as your WWE Universal Champion. I thought it was cool, man. Seth Rollins, he ended up name-dropping Mox. He ended up saying that, Reigns, he can't do it without the Usos. Much like, the Shield, you had him and you had Mox propping him up. Now he got the Usos doing his bidding. But then, man, Seth Rollins said something. He made this kind of interesting. He said, if I could find me a tag team partner, just somehow, if I could find me a partner and I take on the Usos, they're barred from ringside during our match at the Royal Rumble. And then, of course, guess who comes out, man? That boy KO, the KO show, one of the greatest United States champions I've ever witnessed, Kevin Owens. He comes out. He says, you know what? I like you. I'll do it. But then, of course, Roman Reigns, being the tribal chief that he is, the cerebral thinker he is, he says, okay, you a betting
cerebral
man?
thinker.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. If you lose, you forfeit your title match. I'm like, okay, I like this. But what I liked about this even more was that Roman Reigns didn't even accept the challenge. It was the Usos, not Too Cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I've been reading the blogs. I see the way they've hyped it up. You can look and you can tell there's really no one else left to challenge Roman. I'm going to say Seth Rollins. I'm not even going to wait to make a prediction. I'm going to say it right now. Mark this down. Seth Rollins will leave your Universal Champion.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save mine for the prediction. So I ain't giving you that satisfaction. And just yet. But I can understand your reason for your thoughts. So, I definitely, I give props for that. But, I mean, it could happen. I mean, they really putting over this longest title reign. It could be there could be a slaying, of the tribal chief. What's going on? What is that? Was that P-Man? What's going on with you, man? There could be a slaying of a tribal chief. And Seth Rollins is the guy to do it. So, that could happen, but I really, you said something that rings bells to what everyone is thinking. And when you think of the Royal Rumble, when you think of the women's side's got potential. The women's side has actually got potential to someone winning and going on to having a great main event match. Bianca Belair was a great example of that for last year. I could definitely see another person winning and getting an opportunity. For the men's side, okay, when you look at it, you could have did something with Cesaro, but that only lasted a few weeks. You could have did so much more with Kevin Owens, but that lasted 4 matches or 3 matches or whatever. So it's not like he didn't get the opportunity. But there was a greater purpose, and the greater purpose was for Roman Reigns to have this lengthy title run because, quite frankly, he was the hottest character, and it served him to be champion. Right. So could Seth do it? Sure, but I don't see no one else. And that's why it makes me think, man, WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, champion for champion, or champion versus champion, championship for championship, whichever they way to go. I kind of almost can see that, unless you're telling me, man, you're what's going on, Mama? Unless you're telling me you're bringing on you're bringing up a Walter. Or I'm sorry, bump that. A Walter. I'm not calling him that.
I'm about to say you better call that man Walter.
You can bring him up. If you want to do Ridge Hollins, I don't think he's ready. Trying to think who else who's a viable threat. I mean, outside of Drew McIntyre, if he can come back, or Bobby Lashley if he somehow gets an opportunity, or a Big E.
Drew's okay. I
like,
okay. Let me ask you this. Okay. the rumors are that eventually they're going to kind of start merging more of the shows back together. Now, I know right now you kind of get it around Royal Rumble, you kind of get it around Mania, you kind of get it around Survivor Series. But if they start doing that, do you think right now with so many releases, I know we was against it before because there was so much talent, but now so much talent is gone. Do you think now will be the perfect time to merge the two shows together, or at least start merging more talent together?
If you decide to just go back to the Super Show, honestly, right now it would make sense because you don't have enough people. You don't have enough talent that people want to see. You don't have enough. You don't have enough people that are popular enough to where the casual that you want those ratings up. You barely are getting the hardcore wrestling fan. You're just getting the hardcore casual fan who just likes the entertainment of what you do. But
Right.
that other half of what you're missing is also a wrestling fan. And even if it's just an entertainment wrestling fan, there's a difference between a casual fan and a wrestling fan that truly
True.
understands what they're watching, and can really critique it because you know what it should be, or you know how it should be, or what you at least the expectation of it. But um yeah, if they decide to go back to just having everybody show up on both shows right now, no, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Um, because well, it's not like they wrestle every week anyway, but you can kind of mix and match a few things and still keep stories going, but also
Right.
you can I guess I guess you could take more time to build people up slowly instead of having so much time to let a lot of people who really aren't getting anywhere, take up time. You can slowly build certain people up, and put them in positions to go up against those that are getting more TV time, if that makes sense. But I don't
No.
know, man.
I
It's WWE. I don't know. Shit, man.
Hey, you know what's crazy? That is probably the most accurate depiction of what it's like to be a WWE fan. I don't know.
It's like, man, I could give you a thought, but then again, it's like, but hey,
WWE is
it
probably the
is.
only genre in the world where common sense could mean you are completely wrong. Like